Yeah, the last one. What have you all learned from each other? You actually posted the other day that Sanaya's made you a much better person.
She has, yeah, she has in a lot of aspects.
I think you guys have definitely made me more self-sufficient. Both of you guys, I think, to be fair, in the sense where I used to care about a lot of people's opinions. I used to allow negative people in my life. I used to just be very needy, and I wouldn't need other people in my life to kind of get to somewhere I need to be. But I feel like with how both of you are, you've definitely made me more self-aware in the fact that it doesn't matter what other people are. You do what you've got to do. Don't give a fuck about what anyone else says, and crack on.
I think you've changed a lot since we met you, whereas it's probably... Yeah. We obviously have, like, matured and, like, obviously progressed. But
I was 20 when I met you.
Yeah, but how old were we? I was probably only
22.
I was probably only 23. Like, but we still had that mindset back then.
Yeah.
We haven't really changed.
As well, wasn't I? Like, just started uni.
I technically was, but I think I was already, like, at that point... Well, I've said this to you before. Like, my life was already pretty set in what I was doing. And, like, where you've changed, like, you've come from, like, here to, like, there.
I had a very odd upbringing, and it caused me to rely on a lot of people. So I feel like my immaturity came from the fact that I was never really able to kind of blossom or grow wherever I was before you guys. And then that's when I was able to. And then you guys just helped me so much.
Just like any lesson.
Coaching slots available, team are fit.
No, it's just how you are. You.
Any suggestions for any further future videos or content ideas, feel free to either drop them below in the comments or likewise DM either Finn or likewise myself on Instagram, and we'll catch you over there.
You make people realise, oh fucking hell, like, in reality, who actually cares?
Yeah,
that's cool. That's a good ending point.
Yeah. Well, mate, what have you learnt back from me? What have I learnt from you?
There would be loads of things if we properly thought. I'd say I feel like you've learned more from me. So I'm old and wise.
I don't know about that.
So wise.
I'm trying to think of what you would have learned. I definitely think you've learned something to do, like, I'm not... You like Reese's style, I think, because recently you've bought...
Copied everything.
Not copied, but you've bought a lot of, like, his good stuff. Because I feel like before you didn't really...
learning.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you've got an almost, like, a fashion sense now. Whether before I don't think you had.
I think I had a fashion sense before, I just didn't waste money. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm making too much money, I need to start wasting some.
I can't even think of anything that you guys would have learned from each other. What about training?
No. But we've learned off. I think we've learned off each other, like, everything. Like, we're the people we are off how we are. If me and Finn didn't know each other, I think we'd be massively different. And I think we've both blossomed and grown, and, like, we've got to where we have off how we are. So it's like...
Yeah, it's almost not like learning. It's not one thing. It's just bouncing things off each other and, like, constantly having that, like, healthy level of competition. Yeah. Where, like... Business, if Reese was to tell me that, like, oh, I just didn't do my check-ins today, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
like, and I'd, like, take the piss out of him for days and be like, you're useless.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. So, like, we just set a standard for each other.
Or if you missed a meal, or if you, like, didn't do a cardio session. Or, and then
just... It's like setting a standard. I guess you can class that as learning, but
we've always been.
And there will be loads of stuff that we've learned from each other. Like,
it'll be so consumed into one as a whole.
Like, I think I used to, like, training wise, like, if a set didn't go my way, I'd moan about it and stuff. And, like, I never used to think that was, like, an issue or that it wasn't the norm until Reese would be like, you wouldn't really say it. You'd almost just you'd moan at me for moaning. Yeah. And then I'd get to a point where I'd be like,
comes up to me, Finn, today.
Yeah. But, like, that's the healthy conversation of, like...
Then I also think you matured a lot, not necessarily because of me, but, like, potentially in terms of, like, us training together and stuff. Like, even when in lockdown, I think before lockdown when we trained together, like, we were both a little bit immature, but I was obviously a couple of years older than you. So, like, there'd be things that Reese would do that would just be like, I'd be a bit like, he's just a bit young. Yeah. But then when in lockdown, they were probably still a bit like that. But I was probably quite mature by that point because I'd finished uni and everything by that point. Yeah. But then after the end of lockdown, like...
Yes, guys, hope you are enjoying the podcast. If you are interested in coaching with either FK Physiques or with Team R Fit, then please head down to the links below and you can find the applications there.
We'd both grown up and knew how you are now. Like, but I think at the start of lockdown, you're probably a bit different. Yeah, and like definitely. Lockdown, we both grew up to an extent. Everybody did, obviously, it was 2 years, whatever. But I think you definitely changed a bit through that lockdown,
Oh, yeah,
probably
I was
based
a kid,
on.
I was a kid
like,
before. I was
yeah.
waking up at fucking like midday.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
were
that would never be
Yeah.
the case now. So I tell Sanaya about how I was. This is actually quite funny. We never spoke about this. I told Sanaya how I was like during the first lockdown, like playing Call of Duty,
Yeah.
doing like my
I can't ever
like,
imagine him like
See,
that.
whereas
waking
I,
up at
like,
midday.
I got out of that from as soon as I went to uni because I
Yeah.
was working like multiple jobs and
Well, like
living on my own. So like as soon as I moved to uni at like 19, I stopped all that kind of like.
Yeah.
Whereas like you were
Boys
still doing
sort
that
of
until
life,
you
yeah.
were like what 20ish or whatever.
yeah. Well, I said to Sanaya like, oh yeah, I used to like go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at midday, and she'd be like, since
Can't
I've known
imagine
you,
it,
you get
but
up
yeah.
you get up at the exact same time. You're doing your cardio. You're going for your walks. You're eating your meals at the same
But
time.
if you think about it as well, like start of lockdown, Hubert was at yours.
Yeah.
You were playing games in
That's
the
what I mean.
night and stuff, and like I
Yeah.
think I never would say to you like what are you doing, but I think that probably did rub off on you because I remember saying like Shannon bought me a PS4 because all my mates were playing COD Warzone during lockdown.
Yeah.
I played it like twice and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like they were up till
Yeah.
stupid o'clock. I was like, what am I doing with my life? I was like,
Yeah.
I've got stuff to be doing. I want to build my business. I was literally like just developing my online coaching
Yeah.
then. I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like even though
Yeah.
Shannon's bought me and it's a
Yeah.
really nice gesture and it's nice to speak with my mates, I felt like I'd gone back like 5 years.
No, and like,
and like they were
imagine
doing
the
jokes
pressure.
that we'd have at school and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like,
I'm
this
not-
is weird. I've
yeah.
grown up from that. Like so I just like stopped it and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
I'd be like playing games and it'd be like, oh, I'll do one more, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. Then another one, then another one.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't imagine like if it's like
You've even kind of stopped playing. I don't know if it's because of prep, but like even in your off season, literally last time, like you do play video games very often, but it's only for like an
45
hour.
minutes, an hour tops.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just chill out and put on like a game, and yeah. To be fair, it's more.
But
so
I think
mentally.
that's
Right,
really
it's difficult. Isn't it?
yeah. I think that's
I
healthy.
literally haven't played for like, must be years.
No, you just grow out of it, and then like you also get to a point where you think, oh, what am I doing this?
I'd
for?
rather just
Yeah.
put a program on with Shannon and chill than play a game. Like,
See, I'd rather that.
Mm. Yeah. So you grow up, and that's part of it. You grow up, guys. And that's life. That's life. That's life.
Let's leave it there. Put that song on.
Yeah,
top.
yeah, that's life. That one.